Hey lovelies, so I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video so that you are more prepared and more knowledgeable on the stages of brow healing so that you can remain calm during your own healing journey. So thank you again. Hey babe, so I touched up my brows today. I just finished up like 10 minutes ago, so we will document this process together. So, if you haven't had your brows done before, follow me daily to see healing and all of that. But yeah, just did them. They're a little red, no big whoop. Good morning. So it is the morning after I did my brow touch up. So it hasn't even been 24 hours and not a lot has changed. I feel they are a little less red and that the pigment also looks a little darker, and that's just all part of the healing process. So since we're not seeing a lot of changes yet, let's talk about aftercare, which you need to be following to the letter. So one of the biggest roadblocks seems to be that y'all are scared to wash your eyebrows. You need to wash your eyebrows. The reason why is because the body is excreting a lymph fluid as you're healing, and that's pretty predominant the first 24 up to 48 hours. Now, if you don't cleanse that off of your brows, that's going to dry on there and it's going to be ugly healing. That's going to turn into icky scabs, and we don't want that. We want to minimize scabbing also because as those scabs harden and dry, they're going to be itchy and you're going to be prone to subconsciously scratching them, and also more prone to rubbing them and pulling those scabs off when you sleep, when you're pulling clothes over your head, whatever it is you're doing. And when that happens, you can pull this pigment out of your skin and also create little scarring. So do as you're told. Within that first 24 hours especially, you're going to be washing your brows several times a day. You don't have to get crazy and vigorous. This is just a gentle scrubbing, gentle splashing of the water to rinse. Dry completely before you apply a small amount of ointment. Less is more with the ointment. You want to cover your brows, but you don't want to suffocate them. The skin needs to breathe so that it can heal. So after that 24 to 48 hour period, your body's not going to be producing that lymph anymore. And then you can just go to cleansing once or twice a day. And remember, always dry the brows completely. Small amount of healing ointment. I'm talking a rice size amount per brow at the most, okay? So yeah, stay tuned. I'll be doing more updates, but follow that aftercare. Hey there, so it is day 2 of my brow healing journey. So, nothing bananas is going on. Hopefully you have noticed that the pigment does look darker and a lot of that redness is really starting to cool. And that's just part of the healing process. You can expect those things to happen. So I'm not into the peeling or flaking stage yet. That usually comes around day 4 or 5. So yeah, every day I'm going to be posting an update of my brow healing journey so that you have a better idea of what to expect. There is also great information on my website if you've been thinking about permanent makeup. So definitely check that out. And also, this is also helpful to remember. Your brows are not going to look perfectly even as they heal. So especially at your perfecting session, I didn't go over my entire brow area. I just went over the areas that needed refinement. So especially my tails, I added longer tails, and just, touched up areas where the pigment hadn't taken very well. And that's what happens. And just stay calm, trust the healing process, trust me. You picked me to do your brows, and it can be a bumpy ride if you're not familiar. So make yourself familiar. Follow me daily for my updates and read the information on my website. Okay, have a good one. Okay, so it's day 3 of brow healing, and this is what I call the crackling stage. So you can kind of see the brows look like they're just kind of getting little lines, little cracks in them. And that's because they're gonna start peeling and flaking, which is everyone's favorite stage. Just kidding, it's not. But if you followed your aftercare, your flaking and peeling should be minimal because you, like my brows, you see they look real clean. There's not a lot of scab buildup or anything like that. That's because I followed my aftercare. So following your aftercare will help ensure cleaner and quicker healing. Okay, so yep, day 3, feeling good. All right, have a good one. So it is day 4 of brow healing and it's getting real itchy. So you'll notice, sorry, my bangs are kind of in the way. So you'll notice more cracking because these babies are gonna start shedding like a snake. No, but seriously, they're gonna start flaking and peeling. So a couple pro tips. The first one should be quite obvious, which is do not pick at your eyebrows. You risk pulling pigment out and leaving little scars. So leave them be and be gentle with them. And then to help combat the itchies, I like to use warm, dry compresses. You can give it a Google, super easy to make with your household items. Then I apply that to my eyebrows, you know, a few times a day for a couple minutes or just whenever I am getting really itchy. So yeah, there we are, day 4, looking good. And thank you again for following me on this brow healing journey so that you're more informed for your own. All right, super easy DIY warm compress. I took an old clean sock, cut it off, filled it with a little dry rice, and then you can microwave this for 15 to 20 seconds. And then you put that on your itchy eyebrow for a couple minutes, and guess what? It doesn't itch anymore. So give it a whirl if you are in the itchy eyebrow stage. Hey, so it is day 5 of eyebrow healing, and we're gonna see a little more cracking and peeling and flaking. Soon I'll be shedding like a snake, which is super duper sexy. So again, when you're in this stage, be very gentle with your eyebrows. Oh my God, my dog's barking. Be patient with your dog who likes to bark during your videos. But yeah, just be gentle with your brows and no picking. Hey there, so it's day 6 of brow healing and things are looking super cute. Not really, but yeah. So the brows are, you know, definitely starting to flake off and that's gonna happen. That's just what the skin does while it's rejuvenating. So yeah. Not much to report. Again, don't be picking your brows. Be gentle with them. Let the skin shed naturally. Don't force anything. Okay, cuties? So it is day 7, 1 week since I touched up my eyebrows. And, you know, some definite changes from yesterday. You can see this side has done a lot of peeling and flaking and, you know, shedding. This side still has a little bit of work to do. So, you know, that's just going to happen. It's not going to be perfectly even on both sides. And speaking of perfectly even, hopefully you're noticing that, you know, the pigment just, it looks patchy. That's going to happen. It's the skin rejuvenating. You're fine. I'm fine. That's just the process of how this goes. So yeah, day 7, Yahoo over here. Kind of creepy still over here. Okay, have a good one. Hey there, so it's day 10 of brow healing and I am all done with my peeling and flaking, so life is really good. So after you're done with your peeling and flaking, you're gonna notice a couple things. 1, that the pigment looks really light, and 2, that it's gonna look patchy. So for example, you're probably gonna notice that my tails tend to look really different than the rest of the brow. And that's because those are new. I added those tails when I did my perfecting session. So that's gonna be kind of a good example of what you can expect. They look patchy, they look light, as well as, you know, some areas up in here. And that's fine. That's all part of the healing process. So nothing's wrong, everything's fine. And again, any areas that do remain light or didn't take pigment too well, we can address that at your perfecting session, which is done 6 to 8 weeks after your initial. Alrighty, so we are at 2 weeks of brow healing and no more peeling and flaking. So takeaways, things you will notice when you're done peeling and flaking. 1, that the pigment looks much, much lighter. Also that it looks patchy. Maybe it's light in this area, dark in that area. And this is going to transition and come and go over the next few weeks. So you just have to write it out. This is just part of the healing process. This is the skin rejuvenating. And I know I say that a lot, but that's just because that's the way it is. There's nothing you can do. It's just the skin healing. And again, anything that needs to be addressed is done at your perfecting session. This is why we do 2 appointments for your brows and for your lips too. So yeah, that's just what you're going to notice. You're going to look patchy, uneven. It's going to look really light. And again, don't make any judgments. Wait until after your perfecting session. Okay, 2 appointments for your brows and for your lips too. So yeah, that's just what you're going to notice. You're going to look patchy, uneven. It's going to look really light. And again, don't make any judgments. Wait until after your perfecting session. Okay. We all heal at a different rate, but these stages are pretty accurate for what you'll go through. And remember, trust the process.